I have my friend Janine Bolon who has the coolest headset ever.
I get more hassle about my headset. It's like, look, when you've been in radio since 1987, sorry, it's just the way we are. That's the way we were built.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's
Yeah,
great. So you're talking about growing your business in the 4-Hour Work Week. We all love that book.
yeah,
But how
yeah.
many people actually made it work?
Exactly. It does take some time. And so I kind of put a little bit of a different spin on it for people because, as you know, I'm a single mom. I've got 4 kids and I run 5 businesses. And people are like, oh my God, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, I'm very systemized. I have these systems in place, and if it doesn't fit on a spreadsheet, and if there isn't a linear way that this is going to work, it doesn't happen for me. So that's how we're able to do all that. But what I really have a desire to do is help people that are just starting in business, like they're starting from the ground up. And so we're going to talk about how you work with that aspect of your business. So did you just want me to launch in, or did you want to ask
Oh, no,
questions?
a lot of people are pivoting now. That I hate that word pivoting, but you
Yeah.
know, last year was challenging. A lot of people are looking for their next whatever.
Correct. They're looking for the next thing. And so one of the aspects is if you are moving from where you have received a paycheck from somebody over and over, and now you're having to work from home, yeah, that's a whole different item. And I was lucky that I started that 25 years ago. So but I still remember how freaked out I was that all of a sudden I had all this time on my hand. I didn't know what I needed to do. I didn't know what was most important. And so this is going to sound very basic to some of you, but it is important if you're going to work your way from where you are now to $100,000 in gross revenue a year. And that is make money. If you're not making money, you're not in business. Now, if you're spending a lot of money on your business and you're putting yourself in debt, I do not advocate that. I advocate you start making money first. And so we're going to do something pretty basic. I'll get into the 4 hours in just a minute. But the first one is, do you have a Venmo account? Let's start with basics. I have actually had people that I started coaching, they could not even accept payments yet. And then they were wondering why they weren't making any money at their business.
Wow.
The other thing is make sure you have a separate account. I know for some of you guys, you're like, what are you talking about? Why are you going so basic? Well, because there are people on LinkedIn now that truly they do not have the very basics. So you have a second account, you make sure you have a Venmo, that way people can pay from one account to another and you don't see their information. The other one is get on PayPal and get the PayPal Me link. Then you can be very specific about how much money, because you can actually type that in the link. And I've got videos on that on my website that you're welcome to use. But those are just the basics. Let's start ground level, very dirt floor kind of basics with that, just because some people don't know that you need to be able to find ways to accept money.
So yeah, you're not accepting credit cards at that point. You're having people transfer money between the accounts.
And I've done the math for some of my entrepreneurs that I help. And one of the things I found out is until you make about, this is rough figures, but until you make about $3,500 for 3 months in a row, you don't really want to move out of the PayPal system. Yeah, they're taking a lot of money. Yeah, but until you have a consistent cash flow that's around, the $3,500 a month for at least 3 months, you don't want to be moving into any other systems at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets
Yeah.
complicated. Just stay with the basics.
Yeah, really, really ground floor. And I know now we've got some advanced people too, and I will get to you on that. But these were some of the very things that were shocking to me as we moved through 2020 and we're now in 2021, where, people that were coming from the workforce and were having to find ways to have supplemental income or just start a side hack or what have you without a single clue. So let's move up to what I like to call the visionary level. They're like, okay, Janine, I got this on lock. I have a bank account. I got all that. I know how to handle money. We're good. I'm like, okay, well, the next thing is how many people do you know? And have you put it into a master contact sheet? So the next thing I like to recommend to people is that take everybody that you know you are not going to sell to them. but take everybody that you know and put them in one huge master contact sheet. So download your Facebook people, download your LinkedIn people, and then download everybody. You can do that. There are a lot of people that are on your phone. Download everybody that's on your phone, put it in a huge master contact list, and start telling everybody that you're in business. Now, when you call these people, you're like, hey, how you doing? How'd you make it out of, 2020? How you doing? It's New Year. This is all you're doing. You're just having a conversation with these people. And so that's your first hour a week out of the 4.
Mm-hmm.
The first hour a week is your prospecting. Now, prospecting is kind of old school term. It means like you're looking for clients. This is relationship marketing, people. If you want to be in the new era and really be seen as a leader in your field, which you are, if you are in business, you are, and that is, you want to be talking to people and fostering those relationships. And so you do that through an hour a week where you're calling somebody you haven't called yet in your huge master contact list.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, but Janine, I don't have a phone number. I'm like, you can message them and say, hey, I want to get on a call. And you're like, you got all this stuff. So this is how you kind of sort out all that noise about all the 50 million things you could be doing. And you're absolutely right. There are 50 million things you could be doing as a solopreneur. I focus on solopreneurs that you could be doing to run your business. But if you personally are not spending an hour a week contacting people that are new meaning on your master contact sheet that you haven't called yet to let them know about your business,
Right.
Those people, if you're not spending an hour a week doing that, then you need to hire someone to do that for you. Oh, but don't go into debt for your business to do that. Make sure you have cash to do that.
So you're not selling to them. You're not hunting them down. You're just saying, hey, I'm open for business.
I am open for business. Do you know of anybody who needs what I have?
Right.
So see, you're not putting them on the spot and you're like, and I'm not going to hassle them. Has anyone talked to you about the fact that they need this special widget? Because I know this widget may not be for you, but do you know of anybody? Do you know of anybody who has somebody that has a group that maybe I could go show this widget to this group? So you're literally just connecting for that first hour. Yeah. So that's step 1. So that's the first hour a week. That's something that keeps cash flow coming into a business. And what happens is business owners get busy, solopreneurs get busy. Gosh knows, I'm the same way. But these 4 hours a week I'm going to talk about, these 4 are inviolate. These are appointments that you must do if you want to keep cash moving into your business. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sounds great.
Any questions? How you doing?
Oh, that's good.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes I feel hunted by people on LinkedIn.
Right. Well, and me too, right? Like I said, I have 5 different businesses on LinkedIn. And so people are constantly barraging me with those messages. And I'm like, you need to take my course. See, I flip the tables on them and I'm like, you really need to learn soft skills, my friend, because this is not going to work. So let's talk about the second hour. The second hour, I like to call follow-up. Ooh, you have so many things that people say about this, right? The fortune's in the follow-up. This is on the follow-up, right? Yeah. Well, how do you bloody do it, right? Because a lot of people are like, Janine, I don't even know what to say when I get on the phone. A lot of the folks I'm talking to are artists. They're creatives. They make jewelry. They actually build products of one kind or another. And they want to build their product. They want to build their widget. They don't want to be selling. And I'm like, you don't. You just call those people 2 weeks after you reached out to them. You call those people and you offer them the opportunity to sign up for a free drawing of your widget that you give out once a month. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is the way you build a newsletter list. And that way you're not barraging people, but you say, hey, remember a couple of weeks ago when I told you about XYZ widget that I was building? I have free drawings for, and pick whatever is not going to cost you any more than about $5 a month. So I'm an author, right? As well as a podcaster. I like to doodle and I like to illustrate. And in order to hold myself accountable to my art, because art is the first thing that'll slip out of my life, I'll forget to start drawing. So what you do is you hold a drawing once a month. And that keeps me on task because I know the 25th of every month, if I am not drawing, somebody's not going to get a picture, right? And I promise that to my people. So this is how I hold myself accountable. Mm-hmm. So you have a drawing for some part of your widget that's free once a month. And then people feel that then you're not trying to sell them anything. You're actually just building your list, and nobody resents you for that. So
Right.
that's the second thing. That's what you follow up doing, is you offer them to get into your website, and then you promise them that you're only going to contact them once a month, or maybe when you have a special going, and you hold to that promise, because people will unsubscribe from you in a heartbeat if you break that promise.
Right.
So that's the second way you kind of follow up and connect with them. And every week, or I'm sorry, every month, you're going to be sitting there offering that drawing. And then you can go to your social media and say, hey, our winner is blah, blah. And then you get a lot of traction from that. And that will help you build your business. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds very easy.
Okay. Third hour is called connecting. This is where you'll have this list of people, and so you have your one row where you've already prospected them. You waited 2 weeks, and then you followed up. Hey, can I get you into my drawing for my free widget I offer once a month?
Mm-hmm.
The third one is you connect with them. Well, you wait 4 weeks after they've gotten on your thing. You're saying, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And then it's all about them. Now you're transitioning from letting them know you're in business because they know you, they're a warm lead, they've connected with you, you're letting them know about your new stuff. Now, from every connection from this point on, it's all about them.
Yeah.
And your goal, when you talk to them that third time in the connecting call, your goal is to get on the next call. You don't leave that call unless and that's part of follow up. And a lot of your salesmen out there, they're like, oh my God, they've been trained a lot in this. But if
Right.
you're an artist and this is your first time running a business, you don't have that training. So anyway, for those beautiful people, what you do is that connecting hour, that third hour a week, you're connecting with all those people you called a month ago, and you're saying, how are you? Hey, did you happen to see that so-and-so was our first winner, or was, last month's winner from our doodad that we gave away? Oh, you didn't? Oh, that's okay. Have you signed up? Because I want to make sure you're a part of this free stuff. I'm going to give stuff for free. I want you to be able to have that. Right. And that's how you build that, with the connecting. And then the fourth one, and this is the one that most solopreneurs and entrepreneurs kind of let go by the wayside, and it's imperative that you don't. And that is, you spend an hour a week training yourself. There's either some skill, some website, some new software, because we've seen that with the last year. Everything was changing all the time. Take an hour and dedicate that hour to learning a new skill. It doesn't even have to be new. It could be that you have a piece of software that you know is a Cadillac, but you're treating it like a Volkswagen Bug.
Right.
Okay. You know that it's a Cadillac, but you don't even know how to use all its features because you're just trying to use it for what you need. Go ahead and explore some of the software you already have, and that will save you money in the long run because you won't have to buy something. So there have been times, and I hate to admit it, that I have purchased a second set of software at hundreds of dollars and realized, oh my gosh, it does the same thing as XYZ that I already had. I just had been ignorant and I didn't follow through.
Right.
So I've done that myself.
Or you try to band-aid together 2 or 3 pieces of software, and it's like, oh.
I don't need to be doing that, So
Exactly.
yeah.
So what if you're like a coach or a consultant where you don't have something to physically send them?
Oh, and I always tease coaches and consultants. I'm like, oh, come on. Don't tell me that every bit of intellectual property is only in your head. If you were hit by a truck tomorrow, is there no way you have left any kind of a three-dimensional object that you have created? See, it doesn't have to be for your business, okay? I'm a podcaster. I'm a business coach. I write books. I have like 5 businesses that I run, but I doodle. That's for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there's something that you do. One of my coaches that I chatted with, he writes poetry on the side. So his drawing it's not even related to your business. And this opens you up as a human being. And then people want to be involved with you because you're showing your authentic side. And you hear that a lot in business right now.
Yeah.
If you're not authentic, what does it mean to be authentic? I'm as me as I know how to be. Well, you are if you're doing relationship marketing. And so this is what relationship marketing is. And so there is something that you do that is specific to you. And it can be something as simple as, what about where you live? See, we don't all live there. So I'm always snapping pictures of the mountains. I happen to be in Colorado. Oh my gosh, love it here, right? And so I'm always taking pictures of the mountains. And my first drawings that I started doing for people is I'd take a picture with my phone, I'd go to the dollar store, put it in a frame, and for $5, I could ship that anywhere in the continuous United States. Are you kidding me? Okay. So for the first time, it was just showing pictures of what I saw as I walked out my door, so to speak. Surely there is an activity that you're doing where you are just standing there going, oh my gosh, look at this.
Yeah.
As one friend of mine said in New York, there's always somebody scribbling a beautiful piece of artwork on a sidewalk somewhere.
That's true. Well, you sent me brownies once. I really enjoyed those too.
You're welcome. Yes, that's the thing. If you ever have me on your podcast or you let me speak to your group, you get brownies. And there was a period of time where Ted and another friend of ours were in competition to see how many brownies they could get from Janine based on. And I know it's Colorado and brownies, but I promise there's nothing else.
They're safe. They're safe. Yeah, I used to give away a goal planning worksheet when I was doing more personal coaching. This time of year is perfect for that. So simple things. Don't overthink it.
Right. Make it super simple. And I'm a big one for the dollar store. I love going to the dollar store because I'm always thinking about what I can do for my clients. That's a little something that will help them. And so when I found out that I could get a 5x7 frame, take a picture, print it off on my printer at home on some nice copy paper, it cost me less than $10. That's $120 a year that I'm spending to have highly personalized marketing. And then it goes all over social media for me because I ask people, I'm like, if you like it, do you mind tagging people and let me know that you like what's going on with this drawing that we're doing. So that's a way to build your business.
Free publicity.
Free publicity. And you don't have to sit on that social media train.
Yeah. And if you're consistent, keep your name in front of people when the time is right.
Right. Take your time.
Easy.
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, after you, Chip and Dale. Here we are. Okay, so the 4 hours a week, let me just recap for you guys. You spend 1 hour a week prospecting, 1 hour a week doing your follow-up, 1 hour a week doing your connecting, and 1 hour a week training yourself. That's 4 hours a week. Now, some of my people that I coach are in MLMs of some sort. And please don't knock MLMs. That is passive revenue. And for those of you who are over the age of 40, anything that is passive revenue is a good thing. So pick your product and go after it. I recommend them. I started my very first franchise I ever bought into was Mary Kay at the age of 19. I'm the business owner I am today because of the training I received with the Mary Kay franchise. So a lot of people badmouth MLMs, and I think it's just because of the way people sell.
Right.
They don't do relationship marketing, but I just wanted to say that. So anyway, when you are in the MLM of some kind, you will have a team under you of some kind. When you move from being a solopreneur to an entrepreneur where you have people now working for you, that 5th hour a week is going to be train your team. And so you make sure you train your team. Now, you may be a solopreneur and say, no, I send everything out. Well, you still need to train your web designer. You still need to train these people on how to work with you. So there are times where I will bring people together. They don't know each other. I'm the only connecting force, but I'm like, we all need to get together because I'm getting ready to launch XYZ. I want everybody on the same page. Are there any questions? We have 45 minutes. Go. Right. So I have an agenda and I make it very professional and we go through it pretty quickly. So there's always times to train your team. Yeah. So that's the 5th hour.
Pretty simple.
It's a very simple system. And because of that, a lot of people won't do it. That's okay. I could have snazzied it all up and I could have made it all pretty and made my websites look really posh and professional, or I could throw it together. I built my website in about 5 hours and I am making money. I already have clients and I have people coming in, and within my first month, I know for some of you this may not be big, but I was making over $2,000 a month from that website. But for those of you who have ever launched anything, that's a wonderful surprise, isn't it?
People never get to that point.
No. And so, making $2,000 a month, yeah, that'll cover a few bills, so it just depends on, what your levels are. And on the internet, we have a tendency to have people that, are talking about hundreds of thousands, huge numbers. And here I come along as a solopreneur saying, okay, take off a lot of those zeros, because what I'm going to talk to you about is a building organically kind of system. So, yeah. You're not going to see the huge numbers that a lot of other people do, but I will guarantee you growth. You will grow. Yeah.
Right. Start small and build from there. Don't try to build the big building first. Just one brick at a time.
You bet. It's I use it a lot to gardening. That's why I love gardening. So that's why my website's loaded with gardening stuff. But to me, it's kind of like that. You start with a pot and a container, and that's your idea. And then pretty soon you're doing the square foot gardening. And the next thing you know, you've got multiple boxes in your backyard. And those are all different streams of income. Those are all different aspects that you can build on, different revenue streams for your business, because you started with an idea, a pot. And that's why PayPal Me is so important, because that one link, you can change the amount of the money. And so I've had this happen. This is a little trick. I was doodling. I was just throwing up some doodles on my social media. And I had somebody say, oh, I really like that. That's super cute. If there was a dog in the picture, I'd buy it from you. I said, how much is that worth for you? And she goes, really? You do that? And I always let the other person set the price on those little, what I call freebies. It only takes a little bit of time for me to do, because that person ended up spending $45 on this little picture just because it was perfect and she liked my handwriting. And so she wanted me to write it to a person, and I shipped it to that person while they were in lockdown for $45. I win. The person wins that it's the gift to, and the other person, the lady that said, can I, buy that from you? And so there's $45 with me just doodling while I was bored on a Zoom meeting.
There you go.
So, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but there you go. I made $45 instead of just sitting there. I actually made $45. So there you go.
Don't overthink it. Just keep
it. Just do it.
Right.
That's a lot of fun.
Cool. So you have a little gift for everybody, huh?
Well, yes, because I am what I am, and because I enjoy giving free stuff away. It really is fun for me. I have a special web page that I built this morning. So please, no judging. I do this stuff myself. Okay. If you want it to be snazzy, then I have to raise my prices. So anyway, if you go to JanineBolon.com/TED, okay, because you're listening to TED, go /TED, you're going to see two things. The first one is you'll see Ted's face there, and that way you're in the right place. Okay. I want people to feel comfortable when they hit certain sites. As you go down, you'll see my boot camp. And my boot camp is, I talk about the 4 hours a week, and each one is a module, and I have certain days. And you can show up to these trainings live, or you can wait for us to go through the boot camp and you can watch them later. And it's only $197. So that's how much I'm charging for this 4-module boot camp. But I have a lot of free stuff. So where do you find that? Well, you have to leave the TED site and you go right above his head. I think should be free. Just click on that. There's 2 things that'll pop up. One will be the drawing for drawings that I told you about. And the second one will be sending cards on Saturday. Now, this is an MLM, send out cards. I love this company so much. I promote it at every opportunity, and I will teach you how I've used cards and brownies.
Love our brownies.
And it's a part of my marketing budget because I use this MLM to do the follow-up for my 4 other businesses. And I teach you how to do that at the end of the month. Every last Saturday of the month, I'm teaching people how to use card sending for that. If you want to join Send Out Cards, I'll help you with that. But you can use any cards if you just want to go to the dollar store and get a pack of cards, but it became too much time. So that's why I do send out cards electronically. Now, if you want to use electronic cards, you can do that too. So I teach you how to send cards on Saturdays is what I call that particular program. Those are free.
Yeah, a while ago, we were looking to refinance and we never went through with it. About a month later, the guy sent me a send out cards.
Yeah.
And interest rates had dropped so much. It's like, oh, this is a no-brainer.
Right.
So they
And
work
that's
really
what
well.
they do. And that's what it's there for, is it's just to help your clients and customers because, oh my gosh, life is busy. And then if you have children at home, I don't know about anybody else. I got 97 emails because I have three kids in three different schools and they're all changing everything. And so people are like, "Didn't you get my email?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm still digging. I'm still digging out from."
Wow.
So, so my heart goes out to a lot of business owners who are desperately trying to raise families, trying to take care of elderly parents, run a business and their side hack. And maybe they have a part-time job too. So yeah, I'm here to kind of help you guys, use systems to make things a little easier for you. Yeah.
Awesome, Janine. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
No problem.
So JanineBolon.com/TED. That's where we go.
That's where you go. Go there and then go above Ted's cute little head and click free. Make sure you get all the free. Yeah, that's right. Click all the free stuff. And I've got podcasts and all that. And last thing, if you are a business owner and you would like a little bit of promotion, I have 4 different podcast shows that I produce through my company. I would be more than happy to have you on as a guest for you to be able to share with somebody a way to make life a little easier using either a product or service that you offer, or give us some of the tips that have helped you. And I'd love to have you on the Thriving Solopreneur podcast program. That would be wonderful to have you there. So feel free to reach out on that. And that would be guest. So you go to JanineBolon.com/guest. And then you'll see all 4 different podcasts. You can pick the one you want to be a part of.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Have a great weekend.